pay and making that money last for 2 weeks. Yasmine, you have anything else to set up the topic, or should we just get into the No Judgment Zone?
I think we just get into the No Judgment Zone. This is the segment where we share our own experience with this week's topic without judging each other. And Zeke, would you like to start it off?
No. Somebody else go so I can get the flow.
Yasmine's going to start us off. Thank you very much for that, Yasmine.
I feel like I got bullied.
That's good
just
improv
now.
is you say no when
Right.
somebody offers you something.
It's no but,
Yes,
right?
no but. Yep.
But seriously, go ahead.
No, but really, you can.
God damn it. I was trying to think before we started. I like told my story of making ramen and putting peas and carrots in it, and how I almost killed that hamster. So we don't want to go back there. I didn't almost kill a hamster. What? Who said that? Ghost in here.
I don't know.
When I first moved out to San Francisco, I was working for a startup, and there was a moment during my time at that startup where Friday came and it was payday and there was no money in my account. And there was a glitch with payroll and nobody at the company got paid. The glitch was that we were desperately bleeding money and failing as a company and didn't have the money to pay for people. And people were freaking out. And I was like getting angry because like rent is about to come and my roommates are not going to want to hear that there's a glitch with the payroll. And then in the back of my head, which was confirmed when I talked to my mother, was, yeah, but why are you just waiting for that paycheck to pay for your rent? Aren't you saving parts of your paycheck from other paychecks? And I'm like, can you not?
Yeah. But okay. So saving to me presupposes that you're making a certain amount of money where that is even a reality.
Exactly.
And I think for so many people, myself included, it's just not like.
You're just not there.
Yeah.
And
That's a nice idea.
Yeah.
It is.
But the math just doesn't add up.
And I know like your accountant will be like, well, do 10% of every paycheck. You're like, well, when I'm getting $19, it's like, I'm not going to put 90 cents into a savings account. Like,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
That's what 10% of,
Yeah.
19 cents. You guys get it.
That's where
$1.90.
Right. Something like that. I'm
It
great
has
with
a
money.
one
I'm great with
and it
math.
has a
I'm
nine.
great with money. I literally forgot what amount I said, and then I was like, what's 10% of an amount that I forgot already?
We math here real good.
Right.
We math excellent. Yeah. I have what I need right at that moment. I was very much living paycheck to paycheck and was like, you can't mess with people's money like that because things are coming up. I was listening to so much like, what is it? Like Reagan Youth, like all that kind of music that you listen to, like suicidal tendencies, just like, I'm mad at the world. I'm a teenager and I have so many feelings. That's the kind of music I listen to when I get angry.
Very cathartic.
It's very cathartic, but it's very bleak. There's like a lot of blood and death. And I'm like, yeah, that's right. Death to the man.
I'm not crazy. You're the one that's crazy. You're driving me crazy. And institutionalized.
Yeah.
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 I'm feeling institutionalized. Suicidal tendencies.
Pepsi.
Yeah.
All I wanted was a Pepsi.
Yeah.
Just one Pepsi.
I'm stuck.
We're stuck in a suicidal tendencies loop. I guess I feel shame that I didn't have empathy for the founders of the company who obviously didn't want to not pay us. They weren't cruelly like twirling their mustaches and not giving people money. But at the same time, like they were paying their mortgages and they had, they were founders, and in general, founders have safety nets that make them a little less risk averse than some other people. So I maybe I'm going back on that. Maybe I don't feel bad.
I know. You shouldn't.
Okay.
No way.
I absolved
That's their
myself
fault.
of that. That's all their fault. But yeah, it was rough. And then, we were talking about this before. Sometimes people who love you are not helpful.
That's a kind of love, but
it was definitely love. And it was definitely like, and how can we make sure this doesn't happen again? But I was like, no, I just need you to be here with me right now where we are mad at the people who did the thing.
Yeah.
Be on my side. Have my back right now.
Yeah.
And then let's talk about how to not make this happen later. That was my story. Yasmine, what's your no judgment story?
there was a period of my life where I had many service industry jobs. I'm very bad at service. I'm very good at receiving service. I'm very bad at providing it. know, that life.
Sure.
Because I just never knew like what to talk to. I'm a very like I want to talk to people, meet them, and they'd be like, I just want to tell you what I want to eat, and I'd be like, oh, but your baby's so cute, and they're like, go get me the food, lady.
And you also have trouble carrying things.
I have the weakest wrists in the world. They are just all my joints. We talked about my ankles on another episode. Like it's just all useless. And so in the service industry, your paycheck varies like so much depending on tips. And so I remember going through a period of time where like, just as a fluke, I think people were just feeling generous and nice to me. I would get tips sometimes. Then I would like sort of allot my money out and try to pay things off. And then the next pay period, I would have like half or a third of that money because I just didn't get tipped as well during that period. And I think that I was at a place in my life where I was really feeling more like reacting to everything. Like everything's happening to me.
Yeah.
It's just happening to me. And like I'm just being sloshed around the ocean. And I wasn't yet in a place of my life where I was like, no, I can take control of this. Like I can, instead of, being like, oh my God, I got good tips. I'm going to go out and get drinks and chill. Like I could have said, think about 2 weeks from now when you have rent due. And the fact that you might not get tipped this well next week. I could have sort of exercised that foresight and that discipline, but I just wasn't there in my life yet. So it was just like I just felt like I was being boomeranged around. And I think the biggest thing that I'm going to try not to judge about myself was that I wasn't yet in a place in my life where I was taking a lot of ownership over the circumstances I was in.
It's that executive reasoning, but sometimes you just gotta wait for that brain to catch up.
Big time. That's what I was going to say. You
Prefrontal
can't
cortex.
fake that either.
No.
And that's a problem. It's like, yes, yeah.
Yeah.
I really remember this is relating to my aunt having a conversation with my mom about my cousin who, follow me now.
Do the math.
Okay.
Do the math.
My aunt talking about her son, who's my cousin, and but she was just like, I don't understand. He was in high school. She's like, why won't he do his homework? Why won't he? I can't. He all just like he's distracted by girls. He's distracted by track and field. Like, and it was just like because his brain doesn't know.
Right.
He still has a lizard brain.
Right. And I think like that is just like you can't accelerate that process. You're where you're at, and. Yeah, I think this is another outlet of that exact same, those systems. Yeah.
It's so weird, too, that you cannot properly remember what that feels like.
Yeah.
Like, once you have it,
you
can't conceive of a
Right.
world where you don't have it.
Yes.
Everyone else is just
Isn't that
trash.
funny?
Right.
Totally. You're like,
All you
just
have
try
to
harder.
do is
Yeah.
this, and this.
Yeah.
Like, my brain won't do that.
No,
Yeah.
it sounds nice. It's like my husband's like, well, if you want to be more fit, just get up in the morning and exercise. And I'm like, if you want to be married, shut the fuck up.
And then you hit him with a dab and moonwalk out of the room. Yeah.
And music starts playing from somewhere.
A light hip hop horn.
That's right.
That's right. I'd be like, who's that?
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about
It's
it.
my friend Zeke.
Some
I carry
guy.
him around with me. And just like in a baby Bjorn, but on the
Yeah.
back, saying
Ready for a sort of like mild punctuation
That's
when
right.
points happen. Yeah. Cool.
What
yeah.
about
Tell us
what about you,
Yeah,
Zeke?
I don't know that I
Join
have
us.
like yeah, for sure. I'd love to join you. Is this seat open? I don't know that I have like a concrete story necessarily, but like this topic sort of appealed to me specifically in one particular way, which is like when you get paid every 2 weeks, eating food is there's a weird outlet where it's like groceries are undeniably cheaper than eating out, but groceries cost like $100 in one fell swoop. And I so clearly remember being like, it was more painful or conceivable to me to spend like $8 on a burrito every day versus like $100 in one chunk. Because I would have to like check my account and make sure. I was like, I always got $8 in there. Like
Right.
I don't always got $100 in
Right.
there, you know? And
Right.
so, but it is a weird thing where it's like, it's the sort of smaller, sooner reward at the expense of the larger, later reward. And it's that perspective again, where it's like, well, if I really sit down and think about the money, I'm like, if I just am more consistent about buying groceries, then I won't be hitting that point where I'm saving more long term. And so, yeah, but that would happen to me a lot. And I think like, I worked for many service industry jobs as well, and like just would really fluctuate like how much money was coming in based on tips. And yeah, it's just my dirty little secret is I'm not a budgeter, and I never really have been, and I to this day still do not.
And I don't see it in my
Here you
future.
are,
I
right in
honestly
front of us.
may never be a budgeter.